It's time now for Upon Further Review, brought to you by Ogeechee Technical College, Education with Purpose, and by Dr. Lincoln Lippincott with the Sleep Apnea Center in Statesboro. And now, here they are, Josh Aubrey and Nate Hirsch.
And we're happy to welcome you into a brand new week of Upon Further Review, along with Josh, part of the Statesboro Herald's online team. This is Nate, and we are up top of ERA Hirsch Real Estate Team, buying or selling real estate. Talk to the experts. They're downstairs at ERA Hirsch Real Estate Team. We are in to the month of May.
Final stretch, Nate.
And speaking of finals, it's finals week.
Yes.
At Georgia Southern, so no games during the week. The teams that are still playing will be playing this weekend, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But our high school teams, the seasons came to a fairly abrupt end.
Yeah, and it was funny because the team that was home, which was the 2 seed, Southeast Bulloch, hosting the 3 seed, Decatur, looked like they'd have a better opportunity because Statesboro was going on to face a monster in Houston County, who's ranked 1 or 2 in the state, has a 95-mile-an-hour lefty and a 95-mile-an-hour righty. You'd think maybe they'd be the ones that get blown out, but Statesboro ends up in 2 one-run losses. Heartbreaking. Had first and second in the second game, and an opportunity, just couldn't bring them in. So they lose that. And Southeast, on the other hand, got beat pretty bad. They had it within 6-5 and then lost 13-5 in the first one. And then their pitcher, who was supposed to start the second game, gets tossed from the first game for a collision at first. They had to go to the third string, get beat in that one 14-0. Season comes to a close for both of them. Good seasons for both teams, and both have a lot of young guys that'll be coming back. Statesboro returns all their pitchers. So there's some reasons to be optimistic for the future, but it's always tough when the year ends for our local team.
Well, Southeast Bulloch, again, was able to win the games they were supposed to win in their sub-region, where they were one of the better baseball teams.
That's right.
And so...
And then in the region tournament, they came from behind in 2 games to come back. Because what's happened in the past, which you were alluding to, is they've won their sub-region and then end up as the 4 seed.
Right.
They did get to 2, which was...
but as it turned out, when I go back and look, though, Decatur's record was 20-5.
Well, 19-5 now, yeah. But their only losses were to the 2 other teams in their region who are ranked in the top 10 in the state.
Turned out they were pretty loaded.
They were a good team.
That's how it goes in the state playoffs. In all divisions, as far as classifications, in all sports, it's who you get matched up with. And, we didn't get to talk about it yet, but the Statesboro boys soccer had a tough matchup also with Lakeside.
Well, and the teams up there in their region. I mean, Statesboro ends up being the 2 seed, and there's a big difference in 2 and 1 a lot of times, because sometimes those 3s are really tough, and Lakeside was a good team. They weren't blowing people out. Statesboro there toward the end lost 2-0 to Glenn. Their defense, and then in this game, their defense has played well all year. They give up 4 goals, and that's a little rare.
But also, the region Lakeside comes from over there.
It's a pretty tough region.
Has been for baseball and soccer, where you probably could almost take all 4 of them, and I think they did end up winning, I think, most of the matchups.
We've seen it happen all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go back, even you mentioned matchups.
Yeah.
Cam Newton misses the first few games. Westlake comes into Statesboro.
Yes.
Statesboro's the 1. They play the 4 and lose 1 and done, because sometimes injuries or whatever else.
Right.
It's a bad matchup, it could be. And we see that all the time on another level with our softball teams. And you go to these tournaments, you get up with a tough seed, and bam, 1 and done.
That's right. My son used to be my golf guru. He still is. But now you're my softball guru too.
I'll be your softball guru too.
With your travel team, you're the Fury. This is the under 14. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
The under 14 Fury, and most of our girls are a lot under 14, so they'll be able to play in that division again next year. So it's good. It's good to be in there. And anyway, it's been a lot of fun, and went out to Georgia Southern and saw some good softball too.
I was going to say later in the show today, just to show you, he didn't get enough softball.
That's right.
Typically, they play about 8 to 10 games, not the altogether during the day. There's about how many games going on?
Yeah,
when you go to
we had 6 this one, and we've had 7 or 8 before.
But there's a total. But I'm saying you don't play every game. There's other teams playing, but you could watch about 10 games going on.
Correct.
During the day. So you were in Dublin this
I had
week.
a nice rain delay to sit through too, Nate.
Well,
but that hasn't happened much. But
that's
yes.
true. You haven't talked about that much. You've been rained to the next day.
There you go.
Not delayed during the day. But he didn't have enough softball on Saturday, so he made sure he would try to see how the Georgia Southern Lady Eagles would fare against a nationally ranked team.
It's funny because, everybody was, they beat South Carolina. They beat South Carolina, which was a good thing. And
Yes.
they beat Georgia too. But the victory that they had in the Sun Belt was more impressive than the other ones, because this is an 8th ranked, not just 19th or 20th.
No.
They're 8th ranked in the
yeah.
country.
And that's what we've said all along. The move to the Sun Belt has affected more of the women's sports at Georgia Southern. There's been a few, we'll call them elite programs, and certainly in basketball and softball and volleyball that have been in the league, and it's made it tough.
South Alabama and Lafayette have both made to the College World Series. You can't say that about a lot of conferences that we've been a part of.
No, the Southern
before.
Conference.
Not in baseball. I mean, I guess Lafayette a couple years ago in baseball
Yes.
were ranked number 1 and
Right.
made it. But for the most part, it's rare that you see a team that Georgia Southern plays regularly in the College World Series.
Right.
Pretty
Anyway,
impressive.
Those highlights and more will be coming up. Quick reminder, when you need legal advice in the Statesboro, Bulloch County area, we have the man for you to call on, and that is Lovett Bennett Jr., attorney at law, PC. Lovett's office located in downtown Statesboro. We are back with more in a moment on Upon Further Review.
It's a used car blowout at Franklin Toyota.
Hurry to the only Toyota certified dealer in 6 counties for huge blowout savings on Toyota certified pre-owns. Purchase used Corollas for as low as $159 a month.
Find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
Dr. Sergio Dalsenia of Family Internal Medicine reminds you that Kathy Shriver, who specializes in diabetes education and consultations, is now exclusive to Family Internal Medicine. Call for an appointment. Their office located in the Cotton Ridge Plaza on Fair Road.
It's a used car blowout at Franklin Toyota.
Hurry to the only Toyota certified dealer in 6 counties for huge blowout savings on Toyota certified pre-owns. Purchase used Corollas for as low as $159 a month.
Find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
Well, we'll be talking about Georgia Southern baseball in a bit, but first a quick reminder before the season winds up. Still can pick up your caps.
Cole
right?
Swindell, hey,
That's what he's
big winner.
That's it.
We hope.
That's it anyway. And the shirts that are available, all your Georgia Southern baseball gear and Georgia Southern paraphernalia is all available out at the University store. I know they're expecting a busy weekend as we'll have quite a few people in town for the graduation that is scheduled for Saturday. That'll be a big crowd at Paulson
Yes,
Stadium.
it will. And then Statesboro thins out some, Nate.
Right, but they have to cover the field, they were explaining to me, right?
Oh, okay, because of the turf?
That's right. That has to be covered. No high heels, I guess.
Really?
On the
See,
turf.
these are things I didn't know,
That's
Nate.
I was being. I was learning
No
it myself.
high heels.
You could actually puncture certain things because I don't think you wear cleats normally on turf a lot of times.
I don't know.
Usually people go to different shoes.
That's
but anyway,
right. Different shoes.
at the phase we're at right now, but they're going to cover it because I think they also plant flags and everything, and obviously you don't want to particularly plant those. Meanwhile, back with our Georgia Southern baseball Eagles, who've had a week where they won 3 and lost 1 as they started. Again, they're midweek.
And of course, where were they, Nate? Were they at home with 3-1?
No, but that was pretty good after we had a very disappointing
On the road has been
the
good.
week before. Go to Kennesaw State, bridge the game together with a bunch of pitchers, and get a 4-1 win.
Yeah.
Another sweep of Kennesaw State, all right? So swept Kennesaw State this year.
Not a bad team to sweep.
Swept the Citadel.
Did sweep
Swept the College of Charleston.
That's a big one.
In the midweek series. And we still have, North Florida, I guess. We're going to play them.
Got Clemson
twice.
Too, Nate.
But I'm talking about in the midweek.
Yeah.
Midweek
I thought
games.
you meant non-conference.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And those are definitely non-conference. But, and yes, Clemson will be the next homestand here coming up, but not for 2 weeks. So this past week they beat Kennesaw State, go on the road to face Monroe. And again, the weather.
Had great pitching. 3 games.
Fantastic. But the weather was an issue, so they decide to move the games and play a doubleheader.
A Friday doubleheader.
On Friday night, our time. They started at 5 o'clock. And guess who was up late? Saturday night, a little after 12.
That guy.
And I knew when we were scoring 13 runs in the first game.
Can we save a few of those?
I always say that. Please save a few.
Chase Cohen could have used a couple runs, right, Nate?
Well, now, Chase Cohen, pitches the second game. Evan Challenger pitches the first. You're
Great
exactly
game.
right. Challenger goes.
Finally got some run support.
Yes.
We don't see that much.
Not usually on his Friday night starts, but the Eagle bats were booming. And got him enough runs, so he only had to pitch 6 2/3. Chris Brown did come in and finish that game up.
Well,
and did again, not the pressure.
There was no
on
pressure on that.
But at least he pitched very effective.
You are correct.
So here's Chase Cohen bouncing back with 7 innings, where he basically gives up the 1 run, and it's scored on an error. Anyway.
1 earned run.
Right, 1 unearned. Unearned run. So it's 1-1. And we make the pitching change in the 8th inning, and certainly Landon Hughes, again, we had a walk and then a sacrifice.
He pitched good on Sunday.
He certainly did. I was going to get to that. So anyway, lose the second game.
2-1.
2-1, a little after midnight Eastern time. Then they don't play on Saturday. They'd already posted pictures.
What'd they do?
Well, when they got out there, they flew out on Thursday, so they had the early part of the day Friday. They went to visit, at least the pictures I saw, your friends, the Robertsons out there.
Go meet the Robertsons.
I guess, right there.
Yeah.
They are tied to Monroe.
Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty
correct.
people, yes. Anyway, I don't watch all of that. But anyway.
Did they go to New Orleans on Saturday? I mean, might as well go somewhere.
They had a free day there Saturday, although the weather, listen, that whole area of the country was not very good.
Not New Orleans is not exactly the place you want to go when there's bad weather.
But then came back Sunday with the early start and able to, again, come away with another win.
Great pitching Sunday as well.
Yeah, and again,
pieced together.
We decided not to go with Eichhorn.
Kelly pitched.
Adam Kelly certainly started the game off there.
Langston came in.
They bridged the game together. I guess Connor Simmons.
Yep.
Threw a little bit, and then Hughes pitched the last 4 innings. And
I think he
gets the win in relief. Yeah.
But I'm saying I don't think he gave up a run. Did
he had 4 scoreless innings. Right. So the Eagles find themselves now 12-12 in the standings. They're currently in 6th place, but they're really crowded between 3rd and 6th. So again, they have
2 conference series left.
2 conference, and of course one very tough one coming up, because they go to South Alabama, who's currently in 1st place. Georgia State did beat South Alabama.
But the good thing is that is on the road. So you laugh. It's true. It's a fact.
You're being very positive. That's a good thing.
Yes, it is.
So there's only 2 conference series left: South Alabama and Georgia State. Georgia State winning 1 of 3 over the weekend against South Alabama.
But that one's here.
That's
scary.
Here. And not only is it scary, but nobody is saying much. But it could decide.
Oh no!
Is this going to decide the cup?
The cup.
What do we call it?
Well, we have softballs at Georgia State too, aren't
right. That's also coming.
Seems
up
like is that who we are typically going to end the year with in all of our sports? Because basketball's done it that way.
Although they did show us the basketball schedule, the conference schedule for this upcoming year.
Yes.
And now the men's games, you'll be happy, right? Are on Saturdays and Mondays. Not good for our show.
Not a bit for our show.
No, but we'll talk about that.
Well, Thursdays weren't that good either, Nate.
But no. So anyway, But our conference opener on the schedule shows home Georgia State on December 31st. Last time I looked, that was New Year's Eve, Saturday night. They're also playing.
Make sure you get some video, Nate, because
you're not going to be there. Are you saying that? Meanwhile,
I don't think many people.
Our athletic
will be
director
there.
did tweet that the two ADs can get together if the teams agree
And change it.
Yes,
I hope so.
And you would hope that that will apply. All right, we have a lot more to get to, and we'll do that in a moment on Upon Further Review.
Do you ever wonder what that 15% savings cost you in service?
What's the name on the account?
My name is Mary, M-A-R-Y.
Who is this?
Mary.
Oh,
My
okay.
name is Mary.
Right.
Are you even listening to me?
Sure.
At Glenn Davis Insurance, we get to know you as a person. To us, you're not just another number. Together with Auto Owners Insurance, we can develop an insurance plan tailored to your specific needs. Glenn Davis and Associates. Call or come by today.
The Medical Center Pharmacy on Grenade Street is proud to be your Health Mart pharmacy in Statesboro. The Medical Center Pharmacy, locally owned and serving this community for 50 years, is open 364 days a year. The pharmacists at Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you. And it's time now for our high school segment. It is presented by Ogeechee Technical College. We'll look back at the state playoffs. We kind of summarized them earlier. But first, let's take a look at this from OTC.
I'm Brian Reliza.
My name is Michaela Graham.
And I'm an echocardiography graduate.
I'm studying to be a veterinary technician.
And I am OTC.
And I am OTC.
We believe every path is different and every student is unique. Whether you're interested in dual enrollment and associate degree or earning credit toward a higher degree, a diploma, or certificate, Ogeechee Tech can help you build a strong foundation for your future. Visit ogeecheetech.edu to find out how you can go anywhere from here.
Well, the schedule was set up. Everybody was supposed to begin on Fridays, and they did, I guess, across the state.
That's right.
With the 2-game series on Friday and the one, if necessary, on Saturday.
Unfortunately, we didn't have any local teams have to play the if games. They were pretty much decided on Friday night. Let's get out and see some highlights. Statesboro High and Southeast Bulloch. Southeast Bulloch hosting number 3 seeded Decatur in the opening round of the AAA playoffs. The visitors out to the early lead. Alex Gleer with the RBI single past Bryce Harnage. It's 2-0 Bulldogs. Almost instant replay as Boyd Brim singles here. Brings in another run. Next up, it's Ben Thillo, and he'll help Decatur out to a 6-0 lead. The Yellow Jackets not giving up, though. First, it's Clay Carter, the senior, with the double to the fence in left center. Bryce Harnage then helping his own cause with the RBI single right here, and the Jackets on the board. They'd score 2 more on walked-in runs and another on a hit batsman. Then, with it 6-4, the bases loaded single to left scores 1, but the tying run thrown out at the plate, and it's 6-5 Decatur. The floodgates then open. The Bulldogs score 7 more runs the rest of the way, and they'd end up taking game 1 by a final of 13-5. To game 2 we go, and the Yellow Jackets actually with the early lead. The ball gets away on strike 3. The throw late to first. Bryce Harnage comes all the way in to score. It's 1-0 Southeast Bulloch. That lead short-lived, though. In the second, already up 2-1. Timothy Conway with the RBI single into right. And it's 3-1 Bulldogs. Next up, Keenan Howard, the opposite field pop-up, and this falls. 2 more runs score, and it's 5-1. More in the third. A nice play here in right. But Boyd Brim able to tag and score from third. Next up, with the score 7-1, Alex Gleer again, this time the 2-run single, and the season ends for Southeast 14-1. The The Statesboro Blue Devils opening up the 5A state playoffs on the road at Houston County, facing two Major League Baseball draft prospect pitchers. The Blue Devils with their hands full. Dylan Strickland with the strikeout to end the inning. Offensively, the Bears to a 3-0 lead as Austin Langford with a 2-run single. Statesboro able to scratch back to cut the lead to 3-2, but would end up falling in Game 1 by a final count of 3-2, and then would drop the nightcap by 1 run as well, losing 4-3. Well, Nate, and then there was one, and that being Bulloch Academy, who have still got to finish everything up and get the state playoffs underway. You know how it works. The way their region sets up, you're going to make the state.
Right.
No matters what seed you're going to be. And the way things have gone, I would expect that to be an on-the-road issue for the Gators.
State track meets, I guess, still coming up for the high school teams.
Yes.
And
Bulloch Academy had some success.
They had some success in theirs, and
Yep.
I know that the teams around here are sending a pretty good contingent. I
Yeah,
think,
that's
from
right.
Southeast Bulloch.
Southeast Bulloch and Statesboro's girls in
Right.
particular
Right.
have got some girls who have chances of state championships, and
All
that's
right.
pretty impressive.
As promised, softball action from over the weekend out at Georgia Southern. That's next and more in a moment on Upon Further Review.
It's a used car blowout at Franklin Toyota.
Hurry to the only Toyota certified dealer in 6 counties for huge blowout savings on Toyota certified pre-owns. Purchase used Corollas for as low as $159 a month.
Find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
Tired of being tired? Do you start and end the day completely worn out? You may have obstructive sleep apnea. Dr. Lippincott at the Sleep Apnea Center in Statesboro can give you an evaluation and explain the new non-invasive procedure that has helped so many in our area. Call for an appointment or be on the lookout for one of our free seminars. The Sleep Apnea Center in Statesboro, part of Statesboro ENT, 120 South Zetterauer Avenue.
As Chief Deputy over the last 3 years, we've spearheaded efforts to make sure that our office functions as efficiently and as proactively as what we can possibly make it. We've invested in relationships with other agencies. We've started a community relations division to help us reach out as our community grows. The relationships are tremendously important in making sure that the Sheriff's Office has the resources to do its job, but that the community has the information that it needs. I'm Jared Akins, and I want to be your next sheriff.
All right, we teased it enough during the show. You were on hand to see the action.
You know, I was thinking I'm going on Sunday, so if they manage to split on Saturday, odds are I might see a loss on Sunday. There's the way this team is an 8th ranked team.
Yep.
Well, they got swept, and I was like, I feel that they can pull this out.
They can do it.
So they set it up good for me, Nate. There was a great crowd on it. I'm pretty impressed by that. Let's get out and see some highlights. Georgia Southern and nationally ranked Lafayette. The Georgia Southern softball team hosting number 8 ranked Lafayette Sunday after dropping 2 games Saturday. Things look good for the home team. 2 out. Taylor Rogers the single to center. That's followed by Morgan Robinson the single to right. Rogers held at second. Next up, Hannah Farrell singles to left. But Raging Cajun pitcher Alex Stewart with the inning-ending strikeout to get out of the jam. Meanwhile, her counterpart, the Eagles' Dixie Rayleigh, holding the Cajun bats in check, getting the fielder's choice here for out number 3. And then later in the 3rd, bases loaded, and Rayleigh induces the pop out to shallow left to end the inning. The Eagles give her some breathing room in the 3rd as Emily Snyder sends this one up and away to left. The first run of the Eagles scoring against the Raging Cajuns the entire series, and it's 1-0. Georgia Southern, the deja vu in the 4th. This time A.J. Hamilton to center, and it's 2-0. Georgia Southern on top. Freshman Haley Carter showing her moves in the dugout here, and then a little bit later, the moves in right field as she comes through with the diving grab. Meanwhile, on the mound, Dixie Rayleigh throwing a gem, allowing only 3 hits, One strikeout, and here wrapping things up, the pop out as the Eagles pull off the upset, winning 2-0. Well, Nate, in addition to the Eagles picking up the victory, I was talking on the way out with some Lafayette parents that had come, and they complimented the field, and they were upset that Appalachian State is where the tournament's going to be next year, because they said that place is a dump and it's hard to get to, and there's not a lot of seating, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't know where it was next year. I know we're hosting baseball next year.
That's right. So can't worry about everything. That's right.
So I guess they go to Monroe, I believe, is where the softball is. And they're on the road at Georgia State next week.
Friday and Saturday. They moved it up to a Friday night and Saturday doubleheader for the
Eagles
softball.
in third place right now.
Right. Doing quite well. We'll wrap things up upon further review in just a moment.
I was born and raised in Statesboro, Georgia. I attended and graduated from Statesboro High School and then from Georgia Southern University. My family is a family of public servants. I believe in it. I believe in the people of this county, and I want to make sure that I do my part to carry on that legacy. There's nothing about a last name that entitles you to anything, and I believe that you build on that reputation, and I hope that I've done that with my service at the Sheriff's Office. I'm Jared Akins, and I want to be your next sheriff.
It's a used car blowout at Franklin Toyota.
Hurry to the only Toyota certified dealer in 6 counties for huge blowout savings on Toyota certified pre-owns. Purchase used Corollas for as low as $159 a month.
Find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
We know how important your family is to you, which is why family medicine is so important to us. At TRICARE Family Medicine, we'll see that your family is in the best possible health. We offer a fun and friendly environment and are now accepting new pediatric and adult patients. Come experience the difference today. Let our family take care of your family at TRICARE Family Medicine, the official family practice of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Well, we were talking off the air earlier about the NFL draft, which you didn't get a chance to see, you said, but I was watching it to see if we'd get any players picked up. And we had one player drafted in the 5th round. Certainly, congratulations. Antoine Williams.
Antoine Williams.
Detroit Lions.
And it used to be that would be a huge story. But now, we're getting kind of used to Georgia Southern players being drafted since, the Jerick McKinnon and Darius Eubanks and Westbrook and, J.J. Wilcox. We've had a lot of guys over the last few years, so pretty impressive, and hopefully that trend continues.
Yeah, and also Antoine Glover
signed as a free agent
with Denver. Yep. I don't know if anybody else will get picked up. Hopefully they'll get their chances. But there were several guys from the Sun Belt that actually got picked fairly early. I was surprised Samford had a guy picked in the 2nd round.
Yeah, how about that?
Victor Cabral was tweeting all over the place about
as
that.
Well he should. Congratulations, Chris Hatcher's group, and yes.
That's right. That's a big deal for them to get someone that early. All right, we will see you next time. We'll have more to talk about when we see you on Upon Further Review.
Join us again next time for Upon Further Review, brought to you in part by Ogeechee Technical College, Education with Purpose, and by Dr. Lincoln Lippincott with the Sleep Apnea Center in Statesboro.